Amara Okafor stood at the Lagos airport departure gate, her heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped board. "I'll come back for you," David whispered, his lips close to her ear. 2 years. That's all I need to finish my master's degree in London and get established. Then I'm coming back to marry you properly, with a big wedding, everything your mother dreams of. Amara looked into his eyes, those warm brown eyes that had captivated her since their first year at the University of Lagos. They'd spent 4 years building their love story, late-night study sessions that turned into deep conversations, walks along Bar Beach, dreams shared under the stars at a family compound in Enugu during Christmas. 2 years, she repeated, touching his face. "I'll wait, David. I'll wait forever, if I have to." He kissed her then, right there in front of departing passengers and disapproving elders. "You won't have to wait forever, just 2 years, I promise." That was 12 years ago. Amara was now 34 years old, still living in her father's house in Surulere, still teaching at the same secondary school in Yaba, still waiting. "Amara, my daughter," her mother said, appearing in her bedroom doorway with that look, the one that said another lecture was coming. "Mrs. Adebayo's son is back from Abuja. He's a banker now, very successful. She asked about you again." "Mama, I've told you. You've told me you're waiting for a ghost." Her mother's voice rose. 12 years, Amara. 12 years of your life wasted on a man who sends you messages once every few months. When was the last time you even saw his face? Amara's jaw tightened. "David is busy building our future. His PhD took longer than expected, and now he's working. Working where? Doing what? You don't even know." Her mother sat on the bed, her voice softening. "My daughter, I'm not saying this to hurt you, but you're not getting younger. Your sisters are all married with children. Your younger brother just got engaged. Meanwhile, you're here, waiting for someone who..." She didn't finish the sentence, but Amara heard the unspoken words. "Someone who might not be coming back. He loves me, Mama. He promised." Her mother sighed deeply and left the room, shaking her head. Alone, Amara pulled out her phone and scrolled to David's last message from 3 weeks ago. "Sorry I've been quiet. Work is crazy. Miss you every day. Soon, my love. Soon." The same message he had been sending, in variations, for 12 years. But Amara believed. She had to believe. Because if David wasn't coming back, then she'd wasted her entire youth on a lie. It was a Saturday morning when everything changed. Amara was at Balogun Market in Lagos Island, navigating the crowded stalls, when she collided with someone carrying a stack of fabric bolts. Sorry, oh," a male voice exclaimed as Dutch wax prints cascaded to the ground. "No, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking." Amara bent to help gather the fabrics, and when she looked up, she found herself staring into the warmest smile she'd seen in years. The man was tall, with kind eyes, and the beginning of gray at his temples. He wore a simple shirt and jeans, but there was something distinguished about him. "I'm Chidi," he said, extending his hand after they'd collected all the fabrics. "And apparently, I need to watch where I'm going." "Amara," she replied, shaking his hand. His grip was warm and confident. "Let me guess," Chidi said, his eyes twinkling. "You're buying fabric for a wedding? Sister? Friend?" Amara's smile faltered. "No, just looking." Something in her tone made him pause. "Well, I own a tailoring shop in Lekki. If you ever need anything made, I'd be honored to design for you. He handed her a business card. Chidi Namdi, Namdi Designs. Thank you, Amara said, pocketing it without much thought. She'd never call. She was waiting for David. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. Over the next 3 months, Amara kept running into Chidi. At the market, at the bookstore in Falomo, at her cousin's birthday party, where, impossibly, he turned out to be the caterer's brother. Are you following me? She finally asked, half joking, after their 5th coincidental meeting. Chidi laughed, a rich, genuine sound. In a city of 20 million people, maybe the universe is trying to tell us something. He was easy to talk to. Unlike David's brooding intellectualism, Chidi was light, funny, present. He told her about his tailoring business, how he'd learned the craft from his grandmother in Newi before studying fashion design in South Africa. And you? He asked over suya at an outdoor spot in Victoria Island. What's your story, Amara Okafor? She told him about teaching, about her love of literature, about growing up in Enugu. But she didn't mention David. That felt like a betrayal, even though they were just friends. Just friends, she told herself, even as she found herself thinking about Chidi's smile during her lessons. Even as she caught herself checking her phone, hoping for his texts instead of David's increasingly rare messages. There's something I need to tell you, Chidi said one evening as they walked along Enugu beach. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Amara's heart jumped. What? I like you, Amara, more than a friend. I know we haven't known each other that long, but I can't help how I feel. He stopped walking and turned to face her. I'd like to take you to meet my family, to do this properly, the way it should be done. Panic seized Amara's chest. Chidi, I can't. There's someone you're always waiting to hear from. Chidi's voice was gentle, not accusatory. I've noticed, Amara, the way you check your phone, the way you go quiet sometimes, like you're somewhere else. Tears pricked her eyes. His name is David. We've been together it's complicated. How long has it been since you've seen him? The question hung in the humid evening air. 12 years, Amara whispered. But he's coming back. He promised. Chidi was quiet for a long moment. Then he said something that made Amara's world tilt. Amara, has it ever occurred to you that maybe you need to find out the truth, not wait for it to come to you? That night, Amara couldn't sleep. Chidi's words echoed in her mind. She pulled out her laptop and for the first time in 12 years, decided to actually search for David online. David Okonkwo, London, PhD in economics. The results made her blood run cold. There was a David Okonkwo who'd completed a PhD in economics at the London School of Economics. But when she clicked on his LinkedIn profile, the photo showed a different man. Older. Not her David. She searched Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Nothing. It was as if her David had vanished from the digital world. Her hands shaking. Amara went through every email, every message David had sent over the years. She'd saved them all, reading them on lonely nights to remind herself he was real. But now, reading them with clear eyes, she saw something she'd been too blind to see before. They were vague, generic. They mentioned work, but never specified where. They spoke of love, but never of concrete plans. And they came in patterns. Whenever she started to doubt, whenever she mentioned other men, whenever she seemed to be moving on. No, Amara whispered to herself. No, no, no. She called David's number. It rang once, then went to voicemail. The same voicemail for 12 years. You've reached David. Leave a message. David, it's Amara. I need to talk to you. Please, call me back immediately. He didn't call back that night, or the next day, or the day after. But on the fourth day, Amara received a message. Hey babe, sorry I missed your call. Everything okay? Amara stared at the text, her heart racing. She typed back, I need to see you. I'm coming to London. Send me your address. The reply came after 2 hours. That's not a good idea right now. Work is intense. Let's plan for next month. Next month. Always next month. Always later. Always tomorrow. Amara made a decision. She called Chidi. I need your help, she said. I need to find someone. Chidi had a friend who worked in immigration services. Another friend who knew people at the British High Commission. Within a week, they had information that shattered Amara's world. David Okonkwo had indeed traveled to London 12 years ago, but he'd returned to Nigeria 8 years ago. He'd been back in the country for nearly a decade. There's more, Chidi said gently, sitting across from Amara in a quiet cafe in Ikoyi. My friend found his address. He's in Abuja. Amara felt like she was drowning. Abuja? But he said he was in London. He's been saying. I know. Chidi reached across the table and took her hand. Do you want to go see him? I'll come with you. 3 days later, Amara and Chidi drove to Abuja. The address led them to a nice neighborhood in Maitama, the kind of place successful people lived. Amara's legs felt like water. As she approached the gate, a security guard stopped her. Good afternoon. I'm looking for David Okonkwo. Ah, Oga David. He's inside. Who should I say is looking for him? Tell him, Amara Okafor. The guard made a call, spoke quietly, then looked at Amara with something like pity. Madam, he said, he doesn't know any Amara. The words hit her like a physical blow. What? No, tell him it's Amara, from university. Tell him it's his fiancée. Another call, another quiet conversation. The guard's expression grew more uncomfortable. Madam, Oga David said you should stop disturbing him. He said he doesn't know you and you should not come here again. Amara's world spun. She felt Chidi's hand on her arm, steadying her. Please, she whispered. Please, I just need to see him, just once. The guard shook his head, but then the gate opened. A man stepped out, and Amara's heart stopped. It was David, older, heavier, but unmistakably David. And behind him, a woman appeared with 2 children. David, Amara's voice cracked. He looked at her with cold, empty eyes. I don't know who you are or what you want, but I'm married. I have a family. Whatever fantasy you've built up in your head, it's time to let it go. Fantasy? Amara felt tears streaming down her face. We were together for 4 years. You promised to come back. You've been messaging me for 12 years. David's wife stepped forward, her face hardening. Excuse me, who is this woman? No one, David said firmly. Just someone confused. Security, please, see her out. No, David, please. Amara started forward, but Chidi held her back. Let's go, Chidi said quietly. Amara, let's go. As they walked back to the car, Amara heard David's wife's voice carry, "Who was that?" And David's response cut through her like a knife. No one, just a girl from university who couldn't take a hint. Amara cried for 3 days straight. On the 4th day, she received an email from an address she didn't recognize. When she opened it, she found a long message that made everything worse, and somehow better. Dear Amara, my name is Ngozi Okonkwo. I am David's wife of 10 years. After what happened at our house, I did some investigating of my own. I'm writing to tell you the truth because I believe you deserve to know. And because what my husband did to you is unconscionable. David came back from London 8 years ago after failing out of his master's program. He never completed his PhD. He barely completed his master's. He returned to Nigeria ashamed and in debt. I met him shortly after, and we married within a year. But here's what you need to know. David never stopped messaging women from his past. I found multiple phones over the years, each with different girls he keeps on the hook. You're not the only one. There are at least 5 other women I've discovered who he strings along with promises of coming back or finishing his studies. He does it for his ego, to feel wanted, to have backup options. Maybe because keeping you all waiting makes him feel like the successful man he never became. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm sorry for the 12 years you lost. I'm divorcing him, by the way. I can't live with a man like this anymore. You deserve better. Ngozi. Amara read the email 3 times, then slowly closed her laptop. Chidi had been staying in Lagos, calling every day, but giving her space. She called him now. Can you come over? He was there within an hour. The man I loved never existed, Amara said, staring at nothing. I waited 12 years for a fantasy, for a version of David that was never real. I'm so sorry, Amara. No. She turned to look at Chidi. Really look at him. Don't be sorry. Because if I hadn't wasted 12 years, I might have wasted my whole life. I would have married him. I would never have known who he really was. She took a shaky breath. And I never would have met you. Chidi's eyes widened. Amara, you asked me 3 months ago if I'd meet your family. Is that offer still open? The compound in Enugu was decorated with white and gold, just as Amara had always dreamed. Aso Ebi fabrics in vibrant coral filled the courtyard as family and friends danced to the live band. Amara wore a wedding dress designed by her husband's talented hands, a fusion of traditional and contemporary that made her feel like a queen. Are you happy? Chidi whispered as they watched the celebration from their special corner, taking a brief moment away from the crowd. Deliriously, Amara said, meaning it with every fiber of her being. You know what's funny? I used to think love meant waiting, sacrificing, proving my devotion by putting my life on hold. And now I know that real love doesn't ask you to wait. It shows up. It's present. It's choosing you every single day, not promising you a someday that never comes. Chidi pulled her close. I choose you today and every day after. As they rejoined their wedding celebration, Amara's mother caught her eye and smiled. A smile that said everything. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. I was right. Amara smiled back. Her mother had been right. But the journey to this moment, as painful as it was, had taught her something invaluable. She'd spent 12 years waiting for a man who never existed. But in doing so, she'd finally learned to recognize the man who did. The man who'd been there all along, waiting not in absence, but in presence, offering not promises, but action. That evening, as the sun set over Enugu and the celebration continued into the night, Amara's phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Heard you got married. Congrats.
Maybe we could meet up sometime to catch up. David.
Amara stared at the message for a moment, then did something she should have done 12 years ago. She blocked the number, deleted the message, and turned back to her husband. Her real, present, flesh and blood husband who was making her grandmother laugh with his dance moves. "Everything okay?" Chidi asked when she returned to his side. "Everything's perfect," Amara said, taking his hand. And for the first time in 12 years, she meant it. Amara adjusted her daughter on her hip as she supervised the setup of Chidi's latest fashion show in Victoria Island. At 36, she'd left teaching to manage her husband's now thriving fashion empire. Namdi Designs had expanded to 3 locations across Nigeria. "Mommy, look!" her daughter squealed, pointing at the models practicing their walk. "Beautiful." "Right." Amara kissed her daughter's forehead. Her phone rang. It was her mother. "Amara, you won't believe who I saw at the market today. That David. He was asking about you." Amara laughed. Actually laughed. "Mama, that was 2 years ago. I'm over it." I know. I just wanted to tell you that he looked terrible. Divorced, out of work, living in a one-room. While you," her mother's voice filled with pride, "look at you. Look at your life." After hanging up, Amara thought about the woman she'd been. The girl who'd believed that love meant waiting in empty rooms for someone who was never coming home. She'd waited 12 years for a man who never existed. But in losing him, she'd found herself. And in finding herself, she'd found a love that was real, messy and imperfect, and present and gloriously, wonderfully real. "Ready to go home?" Chidi asked, wrapping his arms around both his girls. "Yes," Amara said, leaning into his embrace. "Let's go home." Home. Not someday, not tomorrow, not after 2 years or 12 years, but now. Always now. And that made all the difference. Welcome to African Folklore Vault. If Amara's story inspired you, hit subscribe to follow more powerful African folklore and cinematic tales. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this story. Your support helps the forests whisper new legends.